Good morning, everybody. Sorry I jumped on here maybe a minute late. I want to thank everybody for their time and joining us today. I've got Rob from Para here on the phone. Say hi, Rob.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning for sure.
Yep. So the way Rob and I roll is we like to have this as a as more of a conversation with all of you. We're going to give you the 10,000 or maybe even the 500-foot view of how this preset appointment program works, how it benefits you and growing your business, works with your calendar, things like that. And then, we encourage you to ask questions in the question box. I'll interrupt Rob, and we love that interaction. So I definitely encourage that. These are appointments, not a lead program. So if I do say leads, um, just
Then you
shoot
owe me
me.
another $100 every
Then
time.
I owe Rob another $100. I was trying to think of how to say that. Ay, ay, ay. So anyway, these are appointments, not leads. They're actual appointments. But I see that I've got several names here that look familiar that I believe I've spoken with before. So for those of you, welcome back. I do have a few new names here that I'm seeing. So I do want to go over a little bit of preview of IAMS, what you get in working with us here at IAMS, so that you understand what you got here. And with that, I will get going. All right, when you get contracted with us here at IAMS, right out of the gate, we are going to thank you for your first 6 months of business. So anything that you write in the first 6 months, we're going to give you a little bit of a boost to your marketing, or whether you want just maybe a check written out to you, or whether you want help with your marketing and boost your business, we can do it either way. Steve Murray, our president, is happy to think outside of the box on this when it comes to things like this. We certainly don't want you to be limited to just mailers or a overhaul on your website or something like that. If it doesn't make sense, why spend the money or time on it? So think outside the box with IAMS. We're here to help you grow your business, not limit you on what you need to be doing. So with that, if you have any questions, just let me know. Next, you love referrals, and so do we. Referrals is the best way to earn business and grow your business. I've got some agents that strictly work off of referrals and have an awesome program for that. But that's how we grow as well. So with a referral, you get a $50 bonus as soon as your referral contract's right out of the gate. Then you get a percentage, or depending on the type of business that they write, you're going to receive a slight override on all that business, because the way we look at it is we're a team and we wouldn't be able to get that business in the door if you didn't give that introduction. So take a look at this. Let us know if you have any questions. Next, our back office support is phenomenal. I get compliments on our back office support all the time. The way applications are processed, our new business team is fantastic at hounding those carriers, making sure that they are working for you, get your commission paid to you as soon as possible, the client's happy as soon as possible, and that's what our new business team really does. We'll also help you with, any case design. You got your marketers here on the life and annuity side, or single premium or MedSup side, that can certainly help you with all of that. So don't forget to utilize us. We want to be your back office. And the reason why we are so good at being your back office is because we want you to do what you're doing best, and that's out there being in front of people, being in front of clients. That's what we need to have you focus on. Being on para appointments and talking to folks and getting business in the door. So let us help you do the rest. I encourage everybody to go on our IAMS website. It's IAMSinc.com. There you're going to find a plethora of tools that will help utilize your marketing, utilize for quotes, utilize for materials, sales tools, the whole bit. If you ever want to um, be walked through or have someone walk you through our website and show you all the tools in there. Our sales resource library, a lot of folks are not utilizing that because they don't know it exists. So have your marketer or someone here at IAMS walk you through the website so that you have full use of all the tools at your fingertips. On Fire, or I'm on our website, we have e-applications that we utilize Firelight for. And with that, we have a majority of our carriers. Some of our carriers are not listed on this page here, but we're constantly adding apps, adding carriers. This is really the best way to submit business into IAMS and into your carriers, because what happens is it comes directly to us. We're able to look at it or scrub it this way too. Just make sure you let us know, and then we can get the application submitted a lot faster. It gets the carrier faster, you get paid faster, the client gets it faster, the whole bit. So that's a huge advantage of doing it on online with Firelight. Next, I want to talk a little bit about our creative marketing solutions. These guys and gal and on our team are so talented. I just can't stress enough of how much I appreciate their creativity, because they think of things that you and I wouldn't, and that's their job. We have all these folks in-house, so logo designs, website rehauls, social media, postcards. I mean, I've even done lawn signs for people doing workshops. These guys can literally do it all. So anything that you need, or if you want to just talk to somebody about maybe looking at your marketing in a whole shot, we can certainly do a marketing analysis for you as well. Just talk to your marketer if you have any questions on that. We also have access and able to provide our agents here at IAMS with Retirement Analyzer. A lot of you probably have heard of this. This is a well-known tool in our industry to help the clients understand where the gap is in their retirement. So once you start writing consistent business with us, this is a cost where Steve and IAMS take the cost for you. So we pay for your monthly subscription to this. Just need to make sure that we're being consistent in the business that we're writing, and we're happy to take that cost for you. I want to definitely touch base on our IAMS Wealth Management. I'm surprised the amount of agents I talk to on a daily basis that are unaware of our IAMS Wealth Management team. These folks we started this, or I should say Charles and Steve started this years ago when they were thinking, how else can we be that one-stop shop for everybody? And a lot of times you're either on the life or annuity side, the fixed side, or the security side, and you might need help either or. Well, that's what we have IAMS Wealth Management for. Whether you are looking to be securities licensed, we can help you. If you have no interest in being securities licensed, but you want to keep those clients in your backyard and not take the chance of your securities licensed neighbor down the street taking all the business from you, um, you can have Zach here in our office work directly with the client. And if you ever did get your securities license, then we will just transfer that business right back to you. I don't know any other registered agent or securities license folks that will transfer the business back to you if you get licensed. So I just think that's really cool. I'm going to shoot out a poll real quick. If you are interested in learning more about our IAMS Wealth Management, just go ahead and click here. Let us know, and I'll have one of our guys there, reach out to you, and they can answer any questions you might have. So I'll let this slide for just a moment. Rob, what's your weather out there? Rob,
Sorry, Lise. I was
oh my
on
gosh, are
mute.
you
Sorry,
ignoring
I had
me?
muted. It's beautiful out here. Come on. What do you mean? It's gorgeous. You know? Why is it snowing there or what?
Shut up. It is it's not bad. We're gonna be like 66 today here in Nebraska.
Nice.
What are you, like 80?
Yeah, it'll be like 75 today, maybe.
Oh, you
75
poor.
and perfect. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, don't feel sorry for you. Not even a little bit. All right, I'm going to close this poll. Looks like everybody has answered that, so I appreciate your participation there. Gonna keep on moving along here so we can get Rob talking. We do have our top producers summit coming up. I do like to talk about this one because it's been my favorite trip IAMS has announced since I've been here. This is a Mediterranean cruise. I have shared this flyer with my husband as a wink wink for an anniversary idea, but um, you still have time to be able to qualify for this. It's 4.5 million to qualify. Your qualification period doesn't end until June 30th of 2022. So, a few large cases adding up, that could certainly get you qualified on this. We've got quite a few that's already qualified and anxious to go. I will mention that you'll have to have your COVID vaccine shot for this trip. That is a requirement by the cruise line, not by IAMS. But yeah, if you have any questions on this, definitely let me know. Next, we have our Life and Annuity Academy. We just had ours back in October, had a wonderful turnout. This is a nice workshop that's all expenses are paid by us here at IAMS. We fly you out, we pay for your room and board, food, booze, whatever. And then you hear from the best in the industry. You're going to hear from some of our top agents. You're going to hear from some, well-known speakers that we bring in. And the point of this is to really walk away with ideas to grow your business with us here at IAMS. So get a lot of people that want to attend. We only have, a certain amount of seats. If this is something that you want to put your name in the hat for and get registered, go to our website. You can get registered there or give us a call and let us know. We'll help you out. Next, I invite you all to go to our Facebook and LinkedIn page. Here are the links here. Go in and like our page, follow us, whatever you want to do. We definitely try to keep that as up to date, giving you ideas, sales ideas, strategy ideas, what's new, what's hot, what's not, will be there. So I encourage you all to definitely take advantage of that and sign in. And that is all I've got for an intro on IAMS. With that, I am going to turn it over to Rob. Keep in mind, we don't
Nice.
really have a presentation. Like I said, this is going to be more of a conversation with you, Rob, and myself. We invite that conversation with those questions in the question box. And then also, I do have a couple slides to show examples on what Rob is going to talk about. So with that, Rob,
Great.
I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Thanks again for joining us today. And we know your time's valuable. So we'll cut to the chase. Like Lee said, I think, giving you guys a good 10,000 foot overview on who we are and what we are. Number one, we've been partnered with IAMS for, I think, almost, 3.5 years now, Lise? Is that right? Four
It
almost,
feels like
maybe?
it's been so long.
uh, you've been putting up with me for a long time.
I know, it just
Anyway,
feels longer. I'm just saying.
it's been a really good relationship. You guys, IAMS has a lot of keys to the success of this. I have agents ask all the time, hey, what are close rates and blah, blah, blah. And we can go over some of that, further on in this conversation. But the nice thing is, with IAMS, you've got a great support group. They're also have negotiated some special pricing for you. We'll discuss that in a little bit. And they're taking care of some stuff, registration fees, monthly access fees, sign-up fees, all that fun stuff. So, being part of IAMS, not only are you getting support, but, they're kind of, teamwork makes the dream. We're kind of putting some monies in with you guys to make sure you guys can keep your pipeline full. And, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But to give you a quick overview on us and who we are, we're a tech company. We don't have a fight in the insurance game. We do create appointments. We don't create leads. So that's one of the biggest things that sets us apart. Just the national average on leads. Number one, you've all been there. Number one, you have to out of pocket $3,000 or whatever it is up front. And I always joke around with agents. I go, I lead companies pre-charges because you never come back, right? You get 100 leads, say they're $30 a piece. You make 100 phone calls, the first 60 people don't answer, the next 30 people yell at you and say, I told you to quit calling me for the 50th time, right? Not realizing the list has been sold 50 times. And then you've got a shot at the last 10. If you're a closer, and I mean, if you're a high, very successful closer, you're going to close about 2.2 of those. If you are the average agent, it's going to be somewhere between zero point 0.8 and 1. So you just spend a lot of phone time. It becomes a little bit of a waste. We don't do anything like that. We create, confirm, sell, deliver one appointment one time to a single agent. So we don't resell anything. This agent or this appointment's created and delivered directly to you. We'll talk about how it's delivered shortly. And then, so that's one of the things that sets us apart. The other cool thing about what we do, we never give away anything for free. So we don't give away free iPads, free trips, free gift cards, or free anything else to create an appointment. You won't have that phone call where you call somebody and they go, oh, no, I just wanted to win a free iPad, right? That's another waste of time because then you got to sit there and pivot them for 45 minutes on why they need insurance or whatever it is, right? So that's another thing. The last thing is that's really cool about our system is we actually have, or the last two things, we actually have the client create the appointment. So when we engage a client, we engage them far enough where they go, hey, I'm interested in meeting with a representative. We're like, great, we'll set you up with an expert in that area who's licensed in the state of Nebraska or wherever the client happens to be from. And then we make the client themselves go in and create that appointment for the date and time they would like to have it. So, kind of a cool piece there. The last piece is we don't want you guys to get unfocused from what you do. Look, we're a marketing company, we create appointments. You're an insurance person, it's like, hey, where do you make your money? You make your money when you're selling your product, just like we make money selling our product. And so, we don't pre-bill you for anything. We actually bill on the day of the appointment. There's no contracts because of your association with IAMS, no fees, no anything else. It's a flat fee. It's an appointment cost, gets billed on the day of the appointment. So you guys have no out of pocket, which is really cool. For those of you, maybe, hey, things are a little tight, whatever. The nice thing about our appointment setting system, last thing I would say, and the biggest challenge I hear from agents, two things really quick is, number one is, I always hear agents tell me, hey, the biggest challenge is meeting a new client. Well, meeting somebody's really easy, right? And we're sitting down having lunch and somebody sits down beside us and I put my hand out and I go, hi, I'm Rob. And the guy goes, I'm Steve, right? And, I start chatting him up, right? Well, now I might know the guy and I can guarantee you, I'd bet all of you on the phone, every single one of you, $100,000 piece that, you all have one thing in your cell phones if you have a cell phone. But you all have contacts with somebody that you're either doing, you go out and have dinner with them as, friends, or you go bowling or whatever it is you do, you go fishing with them, whatever. But it's somebody you talk to on a regular basis, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. And you've been doing it for, a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, but you've never got them to push their money across the table. And that's the hard part. So the cool thing about our appointments is we're talking about pension retirement reviews. That's what they're expecting when you go on these appointments. And we'll get a little bit deeper into that next. But that's one of the biggest things. And then the second biggest thing I would say that's a challenge is, hey, that I hear from agents is, excuse me, everybody I run into already has that has any kind of income, any kind of a job, already has a financial planner. How do I get around it? I've been in sales and everything you can imagine for a long time and done a lot of sales training for some very big companies. I mean, like Porsche and Nordstrom's and some of that stuff. And it's interesting, to hear, well, it doesn't hurt to have a second opinion. That's great. But if you get into the pension market, I guarantee you will have a way to nice and easily throw another advisor under the bus without looking like a, jerk, so to say, because, it's like a punch in the gut when somebody goes, oh, I already have an advisor. It's like, well, what am I? Right. So a little bit about the appointments. Where are they? What environment are they in? We have a big choice of appointments you can work. Like I said, they're pension appointments. So One of the markets we work in is the K through 12 market. Another one would be colleges, universities, community colleges, policemen, firemen, city, county, municipal, another market. We also do the federal market. So our federal market's pretty cool because it's mostly VA hospitals and that stuff. We don't have a lot of postal data, so we've kind of stayed away from that low-hanging fruit. So you're talking about doctors, nurses, whatever. That's been a really good market for a lot of people. We also do some of the state and city-owned, city, state, county-owned hospital systems. So if you have a state or city, county-owned hospital in your area, that's another area we work in. As far as Lise, do you have anything really quick, or am I going down the right path for you today?
You are going down the right path, and I'm really glad you're not on virtual, because I need to update this slide. I have a slide up, Rob, that kind of lists that out: educators, state employees, colleges, federal employees, and it says the leads. So I did not write that. That's
Oh, okay. So
so that
so
doesn't
you don't
count.
owe me the $100.
No,
Somebody else
no,
does,
that's
right?
not going to count.
And that one doesn't count. You guys, where there's an opportunity on these appointments, and I'm gonna stay focused on there so we're not bouncing back to it. But the big opportunity, like I said, that one big challenge of, hey, everybody I run into has a already has a financial advisor. Most of you on this phone call have somebody, a client, a current client, that participates in a pension. And if I were standing in front of all of you, I would ask you, hey, put your hands up if you have somebody that has a pension, and leave them up, and keep your hands up if you've ever reviewed their pension. Well, I did that pre-COVID with a group of agents, like over 10,000 agents. It's a big group that we do business with, and there were almost 10,000 hands up, that have somebody like that. When I asked the end of that question, there were like 4 or 5 hands up out of 10,000. So it gives you an idea of where that opportunity is. And, for some of you guys, out there, you go, hey, the K through 12, school teacher market's not that sexy for me, and it's like, I guarantee you, some of you will get hooked up with us through IAMS and have a call with me later down the road and go, hey, should I run the K through 12 market or should I run the college market? Here's what I tell you. It's like, I'm going to get off this call today and I'm going to have an agent call me and go, man, that K through 12 market just isn't working for me. The college market's better. And then an hour later, I'm going to have another call and go, man, I'm just killing it in that K through 12 market,
Mhm.
And you see the same thing, Lisa, hey, whatever market you're comfortable in, the cool thing about our system, you'll go through a registration process with Lisa. She'll get you that information or hook me up with you, as an agent. And once you guys are ready to go, and you'll go in and register. And the cool thing is you can work anywhere you want to work. The nice thing about these appointments is they're virtual. And that gives you guys a huge opportunity. A lot of you are multi-state licensed. The cool thing is I have agents that are living in Florida that have been down there the last 15 years that are originally from Pennsylvania. Well, they're running appointments in both states and doing very well in both states. So lots of opportunity. I know some of you are, maybe on the call going, God, I really want to be kneecap to kneecap, face to face with a client. We are starting to see a few more people request face-to-face appointments, but you got to remember, in our system, the client's the one that creates the appointment, so they determine what type of appointment they want. Most of the groups I've had pre-COVID, so I'm going to tell you back up a little bit more, but pre-COVID, we were probably doing about 98% of our business. The clients were requesting a face-to-face meeting. That being said, I do have a little bit larger group. They have a smaller group inside that group. It's about 1,100 to 1,500 agents. They had been buying what's called a VC, or a virtual appointment, from us for, 4 years pre-COVID. And they still buy them now, and they've been doing very well. What was interesting about it, after about 4 months into COVID, I figured, hey, this thing's going to slow down sometime. And I thought we'll probably have about 40% of our clients come back and go, hey, I only want virtual moving forward. It's about 85 to
Hmm.
88% of our clients that said they wouldn't go back. And the
I can
reason is,
speak on
it's,
that for sure. I mean,
yeah,
once we started doing, I mean, we were doing this before COVID as well, but once COVID hit, there are a ton of our agents that have switched gears. Said they would never get the tools to do things virtual. You got to be face to face, need any. And now these guys are licensed in several states, and they've completely switched their focus to para appointments and save themselves the time of driving, getting in your car. I love the way Rob puts that story together. Um, you
yeah,
know, and saves them a lot of time
it
and
does.
being.
It does make a huge difference. Sorry to interrupt you, Lise, because I
Mhm.
mean, you guys, even if you're not in a busy area, you could be in an outlying area in the middle of Texas. Well, Texas is a big state. If you live in a tiny town and it's, let's just say 40, 50,000 people, and the next closest town's a 2-hour drive. Well, it's not like, you could pick both those towns, right? Because the way our system delivers appointments, and we'll talk about that now, you'd go through that sign up process. You can pick any market you want. You can pick all the markets. You can go, we have people that are buying K through 12 appointments, buying college appointments, and working the federal market. The cool thing about our system is it creates a calendar for you. Lisa, I don't know if you have a picture
Yep.
of the calendar at all, but the nice thing about it is, we don't have a fight in the game as far as when you work, which is cool. The system runs from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can opt in for a Saturday or Sunday. But the nice thing is, if you go, hey, I golf every Friday, I'm like, good for you. Block your calendar out 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You won't have an appointment. Here's the other thing that's cool about it, and this is going to hit home with every single one of you is, hey, a few of you are going to get on board and win a trip with IAMS, and you're going to go somewhere, and they're going to bring you to Nebraska probably in February. I'm kidding. And you don't want to go there in February, I don't think, at least, do you? Probably
No,
not.
that's when I go
Um,
out and hang out with you guys.
yeah. But, you'll win one of these trips, and for all of us, I mean, we all feel it. Hey, we go on vacation, and whether it's a trip we win through IAMS or we're just taking a family vacation and we go wherever it is, and we're gone for a week. It's usually, when you're in the insurance business, it's all about activity. And that's where we
Hmm.
can help you. You got to keep your pipeline full, but most agents get out there and, yeah, they relax the first 2 or 3 days. But now on day 4, they start thinking, oh man, it's Thursday, man, Monday. God, I gotta, you start ramping this anxiety up. I got to get my calendar filled up. I need to sit down and meet with somebody. I can tell you as an agent, most agents out there spend 2/3 of their day trying to figure out how to get in front of somebody, how to market to people, how to do this,
Busy
how to do
work.
that. Yeah, let IAMS do that. And then they spend 1/3 of their day kneecap to kneecap or Zoom face to face with the client. That's where you make your money.
Hmm.
So if IAMS and our our partnership with IAMS can put people in front of you 2/3 of the time when you are sitting there trying to build your marketing thing, let IAMS do that. Help build your website. Let IAMS do that, right? And IAMS does all that stuff for you, and we're firing appointments from you. Well, I can tell you, there's people that come in and they put, hey, I'm going to leave my calendar wide open. Now, I don't recommend doing that.
Hmm.
Um, and they have 8 appointments on their calendar every day. Most of these appointments are 2 appointment closers. Lisa, I want to, and I'm going to let you reiterate this. Do not
Yep.
leave your calendar wide open.
Please do
I'm
not.
going to,
Please do not.
yeah.
You don't, I mean, you're not going to make any money just having one appointment with these people. And if you are overwhelmed with appointments, you're never going to be able to do the follow-up. So that doesn't do you any good, spending $64 per appointment when you can't even work it through, the second or third appointment because you've, you know, I hate to say it, messed up on your calendar. Your calendar is your throttle, and that's the way I love taking that from Rob because that is really the truth of it here. I encourage my agents, let's start out with a couple of days, or a few hours each day or something like that so you can get the feel of it. So you can get your rhythm going. And then once you feel like you can take on more, you open up your calendar more. Obviously, the more open your calendar is, just assume that you're going to have an appointment there. Um, you know, the way these things are billed is they're billed at the time of the appointment. So if you have a cancellation or something that prior to, you let the para know, you let Rob know or whatever. And we take care of it prior to the appointment. Um, I have I had a guy that was in a rural area, and the guy has never even done a webinar before. He's never been on a Zoom call before, but completely opened up his calendar thinking that he wasn't going to get very much. Well, first week, there you go, 14 appointments. We had to get him through that. But that's an example of how this can go backwards on you. So I encourage
Yeah.
you guys,
I
start out slow. Start out slow.
yeah. Ideally, you guys too. The other thing is, if you're really building your business and you're smart about it, you're not going to need, the at least the relationship on the appointment side forever. And you go, well, why is that? Well, if I start filling up your pipeline, and that's the big thing is, it's like, hey, the home run strikeout that's common in the insurance business, it's common in the real estate business. We can take care of that. But it's all about having that activity. And when your calendar's not full, you're not having that activity. And like I said, that's where you make your money. So if we can fill up your calendar the 2/3 of the day where you're empty, right, and
Hmm.
get you a little bit busier, your business is going to double or triple. So if you made 200, you're going to make 600. If you made 600, you're going to make 18. I mean, sorry, if you made if you made 60 grand last year, you're going to make $180. So, there's a lot of agents that, and I mean, I can give you the highs and the lows. I know agents always ask me, hey, what's the close rate? The close rate is whatever your close rate is. That's kind of what I'd say is a general outline. I'd say expect to close 1 out of 4. We have plenty of agents that buy appointments from us. I call you guys clients, by the way, that buy appointments from us, been buying appointments from us for 7, 8 years, that close at 70%, and they have from day one till now, and they still are. So I think a lot of it is, hey, understanding the system, understanding the training, having access to these other key pieces that you have access through with IAMS and having that support. Like I said, they're the licensed people. So when you get into those particular things, hey, I've got somebody that's, 55 years old and these are the circumstances. Now you have somebody that you can lean on with IAMS, and you can call Lisa and her team, and, that group will support you over there. I do want to talk about, so we talked a little bit about the calendar. The big thing is block out the times you don't want it. The average agent's probably taking, I don't know, 8 appointments a week. Some agents take 5 a week. Some agents take, 5 a day. It's all what your capacity is. People are all different, what you can handle.
Hmm.
You might have more infrastructure. You might have more help. Your spouse might be involved with you in the business. So there's a lot of little pieces that make a difference there. So, our
Yeah.
only thing is we caution you to start out slow. When you go on these appointments and what's the opportunity is, for those of you who haven't dealt in the pension market, is 91 to 92% of the people that deal in any type of pension or participate in any type of pension have no clue what they're going to retire with.
Right.
Um,
And I
and
want to
so
touch a
typically,
little bit
go
on
ahead.
that, Rob. What are they going to see as far as type of sales? Because we did have a couple questions in our question box on that, and I didn't want to jump to that before we were done with the calendar setup. But let can we go over that a little bit while you're?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to jump
Yep.
into. And then you can talk on dollar amounts because you know more of that than I do. But I mean, you guys, the basic sales presentation you get out on these things. And I always tell agents, I go, hey, look, keep it simple. The person signed up to have a pension retirement review. Don't overwhelm them. If you do and process them properly, they're going to be opening their entire financial book to you because they have to. And the reason is, like I said, 91, 92% of them don't have a clue. You sit down with Sally, Sue's school teacher, and go, hey, Sally, can you tell me what you think you're going to retire with? And she goes, well, if I have to guess, and this is just an example, It's 80 grand a year. Great, Sally. Where'd you get the 80 grand from? Well, I've been teaching for 18 years. I've been making 80,000 the last 3 years. I assume with my time of service, and then I'm making 80 grand, that I'll retire with 80 grand. Hey, great, Sally. By the way, you told me you had a financial advisor at the beginning of this. Did he not go over this with you? No. Why? Right? Well, guy, Sally, do you think you can retire on about 42,000 a year? Well, absolutely not. Why? Well, let me take you through the calculation. Guy, I can't believe your advisor didn't take you through this. You hire an advisor for what? So you can retire, right? Nicely, right? And without being the Walmart greeter, that's my big line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you take them through that pension calculation, and once you're done with it, you go, Sally, look, your estimated amount's $42,320. From there, hey, good news, bad news. Hey, look, Sally, the good news is you got a little over half your expectation covered. That's the 42 grand. The bad news is you're $38,000 short. Hey, Sally, what'd your financial advisor put in place to cover the 38 grand? You're asking a redundant question, right? Because it has not, she already told you never reviewed it with her. So he didn't put anything in place because he never reviewed it with her. But you're asking the question because you can easily throw another advisor under the bus. Hey, Sally, what did your advisor put in place to cover that $38,000 shortfall? Well, nothing. Well, what do you have in place to cover that $38,000 shortfall? Nothing, right? And from there, that's where the opportunity rises. Well, what am I going to do? I don't want to be the Walmart greeter, right? Well, Sally, what else do you have? Oh, well, my husband and I have, 280 grand over here in a savings account. I've got 100 grand under my mattress and whatever it is, right? And that's where the opportunity lies. The other thing is tax implications. If they didn't review the pension with them, they didn't review the pension tax side to it either. Hey, Sally, are you aware, or did your advisor tell you, or, Sally, I'm really worried about what the path your advisor's taking you down. He didn't tell you you're only going to make 42 grand, didn't tell you you're $38,000 short, didn't put anything in place to cover it. I'm just curious, did he let you know you're going to have some tax liability on the 42,000? Well, 99 times out of 100, it's answered with three things. Number one, no. Number two, how much do I owe? Well, we can only estimate, but it seems like taxes are always doing what? And they're going to going up, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then number three, what can I do to avoid the taxes? And then what's the agent doing? Writing an IUL typically, right? So, Lisa, I don't know what you guys are seeing average cases on that stuff. Um,
It's a nice mixture, it depends on geographically where you're at, and then also what category you're focused on, whether it's VA hospitals or whatnot. We're seeing more annuities and things like that come out of VA hospitals. I know we have one of our agents asking a few questions on, the type of sales and things like that. So I'll touch on what Rob is saying there. Schools, if you're looking at school districts, we're seeing more on the IUL side. Um, and then municipalities, it's a little bit of both. So that's what I'm seeing on my end, Rob. I don't know if you have, that's who your other guys are seeing things.
I mean,
go-
yeah, that's
It really
probably,
is kind of a
there's
mixture.
yeah, it's usually IULs and annuities. What's interesting is, for some of you out there who, have operated, or maybe, hey, you're appointed with IAMS, with whatever carrier it is, and you happen to jump into a school district and their 403B is offered, kind of working in that payroll slot. And Lisa can go over more of that, unless, Lisa, you want me to cover it now kind of
Yeah,
shortly, but I think,
I do have
go ahead.
just kind of go over a little bit. We have a lot. I mean, a lot of folks come in here
Right.
and assume that because they got an appointment with a school district that they have that slot, and that's not the
Yeah.
case. So
Yeah, it's
can
not the
you
case.
kind of go into that? Like, okay, so how
Right.
do they
Absolutely.
explain, that they are not part of that pension? They do not work for the school. They don't work for
Right.
the
Right.
pension. Things like that.
Yeah. So a couple things, you guys, just so you know, when we reach out to these clients, we do tell them, hey, the representative coming to meet with you is not with I'm going to use Cherry Creek School District. I was raised in Denver. So the the representative coming to see you is not with Cherry Creek Unified School District and not with the Colorado State retirement system. So we do tell them that. Now, from time to time, you're going to have somebody go, oh, you're with you're with Cal Stirs. Now, Cal Stirs is the retirement system in California. I'm kind of bouncing around, but you know, you need to answer that. And the answer really is no. I don't like the word no because I'm a salesperson, but I always say, unfortunately, I mean, you'd think these people would be smart enough to know the state retirement system is so underfunded in so many places. They aren't going to send anybody out to meet with anybody. And that's the cases in, probably 99.8% of all the pensions across the country. But the answer to that is, hey, Sally, unfortunately, the school district or unfortunately the state retirement system doesn't send anybody to come see you. There's a few people like myself that are experts in the pension market. We work hand in hand with, school teachers all across the country to make sure their pension shortfall or their retirement income gaps are covered. Well, if you say that, they're going to go, they don't care if you're from Mars. They're like, what is a pension shortfall or what is a retirement income gap? So that's number one. The other comment I would have, payroll slots. Really, what is a payroll slot? I'll give you guys a real simplified example. Let's go back to Cherry Creek Unified School District. The school district usually negotiates with the TPA or is run by a third-party administrator. The third-party administrator goes out there and signs contracts with everybody from Dixon Paper Company to Coca-Cola to, who's Snickers vending machine, M&M, Mars, whoever it is, right? They also, in most cases, regulate whose pension that they're going to offer. In the case of a school district, it's usually a 403B or a 457. The TPA negotiates a deal with, let's say, and I'm going to just give you two examples. It's going to vary from district to district, but let's just say it's National Life Group in Boya. Well, if you're appointed with National Life Group through IAMS, right, and you happen to go to Cherry Creek Unified School District, in this scenario, you sit down with that teacher and to show her a pension shortfall, she may have been already contributing to a 403B inside that pre-tax payroll deduction spot. Now, she might only be 48 years old. Can you move it? Yes, you can move it inside the payroll slot, meaning, let's just say she has $100,000 shoved away. Hey, Sally, and this would be one example, you go through the pension shortfall, the good news, bad news. Now this path is going to be more like, hey, Sally, look, I see you've got, $100,000 shoved away in your current 403B with Voya. There's another retirement vehicle available through the school district. It's with National Life Group that the agent, happen to be appointed with, right? There's another retirement vehicle available through the school district. It's with National Life Group. It would benefit you to the tune of, they've got bonus incentives, whatever going on, right? So let's just say there's a $5,000 bonus incentive going on. Sally, we're going to move your money out of your current 403B into this other 403B that's offered through the school district, right? And you, the agent, are going to get paid on that because you just rolled it over. And then you're going to tell Sally, hey, let's increase your pre-tax payroll deduction from $150 a paycheck to, $300 a paycheck. And over the next, 15 years, that's going to help you close that gap. So that's what working inside a payroll slot is. Now, I'll back up a little bit. I have some clients that work at the, where are they? I was just talking to those guys the other day. I want to say they're at the University of Tennessee. Don't hold me to this one, but the University of Tennessee, two payroll slots are with TIAA and Fidelity. Well, those are securities products. I think we have about 5 agents working that school or that college. 2 of them happen to be with Fidelity or TIAA. I can't remember which one. But the other 3 are life licensed agents only. What are they doing when they go on those appointments? Because they can't move that money around. No, they can't. They know they can't. But they're still going in and talking about the shortfall, and what they're doing is trying to get them to go, hey, yeah, your shortfall's X, right? By the way, that money you're putting away is going to be taxed. At this point in your life, you're 50 years old now, hey, maybe you want to do some stuff tax-free. So they start getting them to redirect it into an annuity or an IUL,
And
right? Depending on
that's it
what's
right
the
there.
best
I have
fit.
that conversation so
Yep.
many times with our agents when they're saying, well, this person, had, XYZ, money, or this person had money, but they can't do anything with it. And I asked my agent, I'm like, well, did you talk to them about IULs? Do they have kids? You know, I mean, I call an IUL a glorified Roth. It's with a death benefit and doesn't have a 59 and a half rule. So it's about
Right,
pivoting the conversation. You can't expect that every single conversation is going to be an annuity rollover. You know,
right,
you
right.
need to be able to pivot just like you would if you were sitting across the table from him and it was a new appointment that was on your book. So
Yeah.
you just treat it the same way. You do your good fact finding and find out where the missing pieces and their future plans and run with it.
Yeah, and on that, I mean, I think the big thing for, a lot of agents is just, you know, um, where I really see them struggle more than anything on our side of the appointments is, um, figuring out number one, what that pivot is, but maybe not doing a little bit of research. It's like, hey, if you're going to go jump in the VA hospitals, you're going to need to know how to calculate a federal pension. Now, one of the nice things is Lisa and her team can lead you down that path of how to do that. If you're going to jump into Cherry Creek Unified School District, you're going to have to find out what the pension is for Cherry Creek Unified School District is.
And
So,
that's easy to
is it
do.
easy
It's
to
a
do?
Google
It's
search.
Yeah, it's easy to do, you guys, but you do have to put a little bit of effort in it. As far as monies wise, it's like I got a guy in Chicago that just runs K through 12 market. That's all he does. He's life license only on his own pen, and he's probably the exception. He's one of the highest earners that we have, at least that's reporting anything or telling me anything. Nobody's required to report to us. We don't track any of that because we don't we just sell appointments, right? But
Mhm.
I hear back from some agents. A lot of agents are nervous to go, God, I just rolled $1.2 million. Well, I don't hear that a lot, even though I know it's happening all the time. But
Yep.
I don't hear it because they go, hey, Rob's going to raise my appointment price from $79 to $159. Our appointments usually range from $99 to 159. Lisa had already mentioned the 64 bucks, so you already know what they are, at least
Mhm.
through IAMS. But anyway, so I don't hear, a lot of that. But I've got a guy up there in Chicago. He's running the K through 12 market only. He's been making over 100 grand month after month after month on his own pen. No overrides from anybody downline wise. And I mean, I verified it with two other people in his upline that, he's doing that well. So, I mean, the opportunities there, I mean, it's just what fits you the best. The other thing about our appointment setting system, you guys have all been in this business for a while, and so you've probably been kind of successful, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. This is just something to add into the business you're currently doing. This isn't made to replace anything.
Right.
Um, can it keep you busy enough to keep your whole pipeline full? Yes, in most cases it can. There's some opportunities there if you really want to just pipeline people through our appointment setting system. You can do that. But the other thing is these appointments, and because of where they are, the referrals are extremely high, and you guys have to ask for referrals. I know that kind
Yes.
of hurts us on our
I
side, but
I want
you
to
guys
give an
shouldn't really need us
example of
after a while.
that, Rob. I've got, and you're
Yep.
not going to like this example, but I'm going to give it anyway. The I've got a husband and wife team that started out their career on para appointments. So they did it for a couple of years, and then they kind of developed their own referral program. They haven't purchased another appointment in over a year because they're so busy with referrals. So one thing to keep in mind here is if let's say the appointment doesn't go so well, you get to keep this contact information. It's not like it disappears. These are your contacts. You can put them into your CRM database, drip on them, whatever. I'm telling you, I mean, these guys, they're probably writing, I mean, they're going on the Mediterranean trip, I can tell you that. So Rob, you're absolutely right. Referrals, referrals. And we do got to wrap this up
Yep.
a little bit. So let's close out with how to get rolling and kind of take it from there.
Yeah, next steps, you guys reach out to Lisa and her team at IAMS, and she'll be able to get everything in place for you. She's got the preferred sign up information for our system um, that gives you these prices, the better prices that get your monthly access fees taken care of, sign up fees, all that stuff. That's worth a couple $1,000, almost right out of the hole. So that would really be the next steps. I don't know if there's any more questions about, what, where, when. There's no areas that are really full. I mean, in some cases, like California, yeah, there's a lot of agents there. You may have to opt into some more areas, but we do business in every state in the country, even including New York, to be honest with you. And so there's, like I said, huge opportunity just to blow up your business. So that's basically what I have, Lisa.
Perfect. Well, I've got a poll out here. If you're interested in having more of a deeper dive or anything like that on how this program works, just click yes there, and I will, answer whatever you need, or I'll get you connected with your marketer, or even Rob himself would be happy to talk to you. Um, so I'm launching that poll here now. Looks like I've got a majority of the folks that have answered that. One thing we're going to have to, disclose is that obviously you have to be working in order for Rob to be able to honor that $64 price per appointment. You would need to be contracted with IAMS, and they check that. So I'm going to set another poll here. If you'd like to see a contracting kit, if you haven't already been contracted with us, for those of you that are new, and this is your first webinar with us here at IAMS, then I'm going to launch that, and I'll be sure that we get that information over to you as well. I am going to send, I do want to just touch, can we do like a 60-second overview on the Para University, Rob?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So really quick, guys, there's a client of ours. He's been on himself probably close to 1,000 appointments. His team's been on, I don't know, probably 5, 6, 7,000 appointments over the time. He had created a training thing for his agents and came to us one day and said, "Hey, we'd like to offer this to some of the people that want to have an opportunity." Um, it is a third party to us. It's very in-depth training. It's got like, I can't remember, 22 modules in it. And he has a phone call once a week that's live. It's just agents. It has nothing to do with us. It's pretty cheap for, when he brought it up to me, I said, yeah, I'd love to offer it to, or email the people and let them know that it's available. I think it's $99 a month is all he charges, which is a pretty low rate to teach people how to fish. But I know there's no contracts with it. You could be on it. It's $99 a month. Most of the agents I've talked to have been on there for 3 or 4 months. I've heard really good feedback from it, but I know there's some agents that jump on there, pay for the first month. I mean, you can go through all the training modules in probably 3 days,
Yeah. And that's really
time.
what I tell my folks, to be honest. I,
Yep.
I say, if you dig into this, you shouldn't have to really pay for more than 1 month. I do have some guys that have been on it 2 or 3 months, but that's only because they didn't use it the first one. So, what do I say?
But it
So
is an opportunity with
it
some
is a
agents that have
great
been on a lot of
opportunity.
appointments. Yep.
Yep, he even has videos on there with like Rob just said. He beat me to the chase there. They have live appointments, so if you want to think about if you're half on, half off with this marketing idea, you could do that training, the ParaU training, and really get a good idea of what you're getting yourself into. So with that, I don't see any other questions. Does anybody have any other questions? I can certainly snatch a few more minutes out of Rob here. I don't see any. So
All right.
that
Well,
means you did a good job, Rob. Good job.
I don't know, but hey, everybody, we thank you for your time. Like I said, next step, get a hold of Lisa and her team at IAMS, and we'll get you guys dialed in. And I'm excited to talk to each and every one of you.
Yep, awesome. Well, I appreciate your time as well. And again, thanks for joining another IAMS webinar, and contact us anytime with any additional questions you have on anything we discussed or presented today. And I will be following up with each of you here in the next couple of days as well. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate you, buddy. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.